with no fake out pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Without the fake out from the Rillaboom or the grassy terrain for the subsequent turns, it made it a lot easier for Nick to just go ahead and just use his water fairy types that aren't a Tapu Fini, because Azumarill and Primarina are just brutal as they are, but we did see Primarina have a life orb that unfortunately fainted to its own hyper voice, and you saw how much damage it did through that life orb. It's pretty respectable.
Yeah, it is a really good damage, and you have to respect that, especially if you're bringing if Primarina is coming in the back.
Nicholas locks in his team in 6 seconds. That's just the confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I like it when a player does just kind of know, okay, this is what will work against this team, or this is what I think is the best option against this team.
I guess for Hayley, you go Orban again, because it worked out the first 2 times. It's just the second time you kind of got red on.
Well, yeah, and I think the question is that how much stock do you put in stopping Grimmsnarl on the first turn? Do you just totally ignore that and try to do something different? Because you're able to stop Grimmsnarl turn 1 and force out a Terra turn 1, but you need something in the back that can then beat the Azumarill more consistently. I wonder if that's an opportunity to bring your Shifu. Not that it has a great matchup into everything here, but it does.
Yeah, it's not like...
it does go through Reflect. It does beat Terrafire Azumarill. Both are definitely important to be able to get through.
Yeah, but like the other things, it's like where I think she's gonna have a little bit of a problem with, because we saw how little that Roxanne was doing with the Reflect. And
yeah, it did basically nothing, and it would have helped if the 2 additional ones had hit. Yeah, it is the Urshifu. I like that. I really do like that, because now. Okay.
It just makes it difficult for both players, honestly. It's just gonna be a mind game between this Urshifu and the Azumarill, because I think Rillaboom is probably going to go for another fake out into the Grimmsnarl again to make sure the screens don't go up again. But it's more so like, Rillaboom, do you go for the Surging Strikes onto the Grimmsnarl? Do you read Terrafire with the Surging Strikes, or do you just go for a U-turn and get a pivot out?
Yeah, I think if you're Grimmsnarl, I think the obvious answer, like the Grimmsnarl probably should get the Reflect up, and then the worst thing that'll happen is a Rillaboom fake out to stop that. Because I think that Rillaboom wants to stop Grimmsnarl, and otherwise Rillaboom wants to hit Azumarill. Yeah, I think switching out the Azumarill is nice. Keep it from that like 50-50 situation.
Well, Azumarill to
Primarina might get hit really hard though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not any of the better situations. That we're gonna see a fake out into the Primarina, okay. So we are gonna get a Reflective at least. So it just goes out to what the heck does Urshifu do here in the situation here. It's gonna be Surging Strikes into this Grimmsnarl. That's a fair amount of damage.
That's pretty decent damage. It does break through the Reflect, of course. Because of the critical hits. It's pretty good damage. Honestly, yeah, if you're Hayley, you're pretty happy with the situation you're in right now, because the Grimmsnarl isn't really threatening to do anything of real value. And Rillaboom can either go for the... I think Rillaboom, even through the Reflect, might be able to take down the Primarina.
It might be able to.
Maybe not with Grassy Glide. I think that's the question, is whether it can do it with Grassy Glide.
I thought it should be able to do the trick here. Hayley clicking the Terra button.
Okay. I do like that quite a bit.
But see, it's the Urshifu. It is Urshifu going into Water Terra, so it is going to be getting boosted damage.
It might be going into the Primarina.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is the Terra button going into the Primarina. It might be going for the knockout in that situation. Grassy Glide first. It is not enough. Does the Surging Strikes follow into the Primarina? And we're going to see an attack go off first, and it will not.
Okay. I don't hate that, because it means that you're not weak to Moonblast. I think is the big thing about the Terra Water there. At this point, Primarina has a lot of options, none of them especially good. And it's also, both of these Pokemon resist it.
Oh, Energy Ball! We're not seeing a Moonblast going in that direction, and Urshifu goes down in the hit!
That is a very nice play there. I don't know that it's game deciding.
I don't think so either, because Energy Ball was not only Life Orb boosted, it was also Grassy Terrain boosted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big question here, because Primarina will get taken down by the next Grassy Glide. Azumarill can come back in and probably Terra? Much more safely, but even then, you are under Reflect still. But even then, I'm not actually sure what's in the back here for
Tyranitar is in the back.
Yeah, and I like that as a option against Azumarill here. At this point, Primarina is basically done, I think. It can protect here if it wants to try to squeeze an extra turn out of it, but it should be basically done. But I feel like this is a obvious turn for Nicholas, and therefore something that Hayley can try to read and get something out of, although I think the only answer is really like Rock Slide, Grassy Glide. Try to get as much damage onto the Azumarill as possible before...
I mean, we saw how little it did with that Reflect on that Grassy Glide.
It did, but if you can get 3 Rock Slides instead of just 1, like the 2 that missed in the
Tyranitar missed 1, and there's Nicholas going for his Terra. I believe this will be the Terra Fire onto the Azumarill.
I think it's gotta be.
It is.
It was only really threatened by the, by the Urshifu.
Yeah, it was really only threatened by the Urshifu at that point. It's still threatened by this Rock Slide, to be fair enough. Oh no, it's a high horsepower into that slot.
I like that quite a bit. Now, the Cypher Voice is actually really scary.
Oh
wait, that's not scary at all.
Tyranitar. It's gonna get a fair amount of damage to both Pokemon. We'll take more life point recall damage. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Rock Slide should finish off the Primarina as well.
Oh, Azumarill lives on 2 HP, but it will go down to the Sandstorm. Does it take a Pokemon with it?
Flinch.
Does it take a Pokemon down with it? It flinches! Double knockout for Hayley with the Sandstorm.
That was a great turn for Hayley. I really like that play. Predicting the fairly obvious Fire Terra and getting the Rock Slide. Yeah, Primarina was on very low HP, and even through the Reflect, you do just enough damage, absolutely.
And unfortunately, I think Nicholas only has the 4 Pokemon left.
I think it's just the Comfey.
It is just the Comfey. It's draining. It's now the draining kiss stream for this Comfey.
Yeah.
It's faster than everything, but like I don't know if it's doing enough damage to do much of anything. Oh, yeah, Cricket Drain's also another option.
Yeah, I mean, all of its moves will be priority boosted, but I don't know if it'll do anything.
That is not gonna damage on that Cricket Drain.
It's not exactly a top damage Pokemon, and
Wood Hammer bonks, and that's still not doing much damage. I mean, it did have
the reflect. That would have taken the 1-hit knockout without the Reflect.
And there's the recoil just proccing the Citrus Berry on that situation with that Wood Hammer.
That's a nice
combination. And another Citrus Berry activates.
Yeah, all the Citrus Berries. I like that combination.
Well, if you Assurance has to come out here, no, another Rock Slide comes out into this Comfey. Critical hit, and the Sandstorm's going to finish this game off.
Do another one.
Hayley's going to win this at 2-1 thanks to the Sandstorm taking 2 knockouts.
Yeah, you don't usually see Sand as an offensive threat in that way, but Hayley's Sand team definitely worked pretty well, and we didn't get to see a whole lot of the Sand until game number 3. Excadrill's speed didn't really come too much into account, but a big thing about that Sand was with the Sand, with the Assault Vest, Tyranitar was just able to totally eat that Primarina Hyper Voice, even super effective, and I think that was one of the defining parts of that battle.
Yeah, even with an Assault Vest too, it was doing a fair amount of damage to both these Pokemon. And it was just, the Sand came through when it mattered in that game, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be doing it for round 1 here for this Premier Challenge for now. We'll be right back after this bit of a short break to get the round 2 sorted out.